Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the time given to me. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Debriana Salean from Nusa Cendana University. On behalf of my team, I'd like to present to you our research about the impact of role conflict on auditors' performance. Case of the Audit Board of Indonesia is Nusa Tenggara. Among many organizations and companies in Indonesia, public sector organizations are one of the organizations that play an important role in serving the needs of the society. The application of good governance principles is an important aspect of supporting the achievement of local government goals. Some of them are the principles of accountability and transparency. One of the methods to support the principles of accountability and transparency is through financial statements. In this case, auditor plays an important role to ensure that the process of reporting financial statements goes according to the principles of accountability and transparency. Auditors often facing conflicts of interest in doing their jobs. The profession of an auditor is strongly related to stressful conditions because of many pressures at work. The auditors, in carrying out their duties, have to be consistent with the code of ethics, but also at the same time, the auditors also carries out certain policies such as political interest or conflicting organizational interests. Auditors who work in various capacities within different industries are often prone to role conflict that will impact their performance. Thus, in this study, aim to examine the relationship between role conflict and job performance. The study contributes to enhance the understanding of the role stressors concept. The relationships between role conflicts and performance have long assumed that role conflict and role ambiguity, two most frequently examined sources of work stress, have bad impact on employee performance. Tubre and Collins found that there is a significant negative impact of role conflict on performances. Moreover, Jackson and Schuller state that negative relationship between role ambiguity and role conflict and job performance can be explained by research that focus on cognitive and motivational process. Based on a cognitive and perspective, role conflict should result in lower levels of performance since they represent a lack of information and information overload respectively. So the conceptual framework that will be examined in this study is role conflict as variable X and performance as the variable Y. Based on the formulation of the problem above, the hypothesis in this study is role conflict has a significant negative effect on the performance of auditor performance. This study used a sample of 46 auditors from the Audit Board of Indonesia, or BPK, in the East Nusa Tenggara, who used random samplings. To measure the variables, we used role conflict was assessed by 7 items questions, while performance was assessed by 4 dimensions of quality of work, the quantity of work, task implementation, and sense of responsibility. Instrument validity and reliability testing in this study use correlations and the converse alpha method. From the table above, we can see that the value of T count is minus 3.915, while the significant value is 0, which means that which is smaller than 0.05. Therefore, the hypothesis 1 is accepted and the HO is rejected. It means that there is a negative influence of the role conflicts on performance. Congruent with expectation, this finding supports the hypothesis and previous studies, as the result shows that simultaneous increases in role conflicts are associated with increasingly lower levels of job performance. From the model summary table above, the coefficient determination of R squared is 0.258. This means that 25.8% of the variable y, which is performance, is influenced by the variable x, which is role conflict, while the rest, about 74.2%, is influenced by other variables, which is not discussed in this study, such as motivations, work ethic, and work environment. Results of the descriptive analysis indicate the level of role conflict in East Nusa Tenggara is very high. The result of simple linear regression analysis showed that the independent variable, which is role conflict, had a negative influence on the dependent variables, which is auditor performance, with constant value of 75.890 and a regression coefficient of minus 1.139. This research contradicts with the results of research by Winidiantara and Widiani, which says that role conflict has no influence on performance. However, this study is in line with research conducted by Aprimurki, which show that role conflict and role overload have a significant influence on auditor performance. The result of this study also support and in accordance with research by C.P. Nurhan state that there is a significant effect between individual work stress on employee performance. This means that there is an influence of role pressure in doing work on individual performance. The conclusion in this study divided into two sections. First, descriptive analysis results show that the level of auditor role conflict at the Audit Board of Indonesia in the East Nusa Tenggara is very high, while the auditor performance is high. The result of the hypothesis testing proved that the role conflict has a negative significant effect on auditor performance at the Audit Board of Indonesia in the East Nusa Tenggara. That's all for my presentation. If you have any questions or input, please let me know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much nih. Cut. Sudah. Juga sih, Sudah.